is part of our worshiping throng. Water God's word, bread and cup of prayer and song. This is where children belong. Just you and me, kid. We're it today. Tell me, what is it about your you have a best friend, right? What's his name? You've told me before. No, that wasn't it. Who else am I thinking of? Was that who you're thinking of? Oh, I thought there was never mind. Okay, I didn't think that was it. But you have a best friend. And what makes you want to be friends with him? Like, what is it? Does he make you feel... He makes you laugh. He makes you feel happy. He makes you feel maybe like you're important, right? Like you matter. I think all of us kind of feel that way. Like we want to find a friend that makes us feel like we matter, like we're heard, like we're seen for who we are, exactly who we are. Well, in today's scripture story, Jesus is on his way to his hometown, and he meets a man named Philip. And Philip immediately wants to be with Jesus. Like Jesus asks him to come along and be his disciple, and Philip says, sure, yeah, because I think he sensed something in Jesus. Like he sensed that Jesus saw him for who he really was. And then he invites his friends, and his friends are like, sure, yeah, like I'll hang out with this Jesus guy. He seems pretty cool, and I think I kind of want to be around him. And it reminds us that Jesus can kind of see into our hearts more than anybody else, obviously, and he sees the very good in each and every one of us. Like, for instance, like I know about you, like some of you might not know this about Jeremiah, but Jeremiah is one of the most, what's the word I'm thinking? I guess empathetic. He wants to include everyone. Like if we're playing a game upstairs, Jeremiah always wants to make sure that no one's left out. He wants to make sure that everybody's included, everyone feels like they're part of the game. He's always aware of the other kids around him, and if they're, feeling included, if they're part of the game. Like Jeremiah is extremely aware of the people around him and how they're feeling. I call that empathy. But that's probably what God sees when he sees you, and he sees so much more amazing things about you than I can see. And I think that's what feels so good when these people wanted to follow Jesus. They could feel that. They sensed that about Jesus, that he saw the very, very best in them. Like, what do you think is something that God sees when he sees you? Do you think, I think I just told you one thing, and I know there's a lot more. Okay, Nana Papa, what's something that God would see in Jeremiah? He's extremely caring. That's kind of what I was, kind of alluding to, that Jeremiah notices people around him and notices how they're feeling. Like when I look around at each and every one of you, I can name something that I see something good about you. I see the good in each of you. And now imagine when God looks at you, when he looks at Lois, and he looks at Margene, he looks at Susan, what does God see in you? He sees the very best. And that's why these disciples wanted to follow. That's why all the people wanted to follow Jesus, because he made them feel like this, like they could do anything. With God's help, they could change the world. And so that's today some of the reasons we follow Jesus, because I get that feeling when I think about Jesus and when I think about God. I think he sees the very best in me, the best thing that I can be with his help. So we're going to head upstairs. Are you ready? Yeah. Oh, wow. You're not going to run today? Whoa, this is a first. Okay, maybe I can keep up with you today. Let's go.